I want to apologize for the little delay in the beginning of the broadcast. Uh, that song always starts out slow. That's Shaka Khan's Circles, right? It's a classic, and goes along with what we're going to be talking about tonight: revolution and evolution, and the separate path of that the black race are on, or the separate path of the black race, because we should be on a separate path from everyone else in society. We should be traveling on our own road. And the reason why we're not successful, the reason why we are not pioneering and bringing up new things into this world, into this realm, into the society, why we're not being fully utilized for our skill and our mental capability is because we're moving in circles. We're moving in the same routine and rotation as everyone else here, and it's not working for us. We're going to discuss that tonight. I am the intellectual ᴇᴠᴏᴜᴛɪᴏᴜ, and this is State of Mentel Radio. And tonight, as I said, the revolution and evolution. We're going to break down the difference between the two, because I've done this in past broadcasts, but I don't think I've ever dedicated a whole broadcast to this topic. And in the knowledge of Mentellect, we are the first people. The mentalists are the first people to break down the revolution and the evolution, and to realize that this has been the problem in the movement of our people, or the lack of action and progress amongst our people, is that we've been moving in a circle. We've been moving in a routine, and we think this is normal. We think it's normal to move circular. We think that it's normal to move in a circle of life, in a cycle of life, because we're taught as human beings that we're supposed to move in a circle of life, just as everyone else, right? And if you notice, everyone else here has they're pretty successful in their travels in the circle of life. Everyone is pretty much successful. Everyone within the human race is successful. Your East Indians, a.k.a. your real black race, your Caucasians, your white race, and your Asians. Notice they all stick together. They move along in this circle of life, and they prosper and they progress. But our people are always left behind. Why? Because we're moving in a rotation, in a routine of other people. We're moving in other people's time. We're moving in other people's grooves, and we don't fit. We are out of tune with who we really are and how we should be moving. We are not in tune with who we are. We are not traveling the path and the road on which we're supposed to be traveling. What do I mean by that? Everything that we do in this society is based in rotation. The word revolution means in a circle, to revolve. Now, to a lot of people, that definition of it is not popular, because when you hear the word revolution, you think, an uprising or overthrowing of a government or existing society. However, when you hear the other definition for it is rotation, revolution, to revolve. As I said, you'll hear police officers and police talk. They'll say, we're going to make a revolution around the block. That means a circle. All right? You hear in the word revolution, you see the word revolve. You understand? You can find it in dictionaries. The word revolution means, one of the definitions of it is revolve. Now, this country came into existence based on what? A revolution, which means what? Anything that comes into existence in a revolution, in a circle, will go out the same way to complete the circle. All right? Definitely. That is the law of the cipher. You understand that? That is the law of the cipher, that anything that starts at a point will end at a point in a circle, a.k.a. your circle of life, right? But then what happens if you move beyond the circle? What happens when you move out of the circle? See, we've been taught that there is nothing beyond the circle of life, and we followed that. Everyone accepted that, just as everybody ignorantly believed that the planet or Earth was once flat. And it was our people, the ancient Nubians and the Egyptians, they were the first ones who were going around saying that the planet was round. They tried to give credit to the white man and all these other people later on down the line, But it was actually our people that said that the world was round. The Europeans said that the world was flat. Just as they tell us this lie or ignorantly repeat the statement that, there's a circle of life and that nothing new is under the sun and nothing is new under the sun. And to some extent they are right. And our people, like I said, our people repeat that like parrots, that there's nothing new under the sun. But there is something new coming from beyond the sun. There's something coming from outside of the solar system, and that is a higher form of intelligence. And it's going to connect, or it's going to be tuned in by those who are vibrating on a high mental frequency who can receive it. Now, to a lot of people who have not raised their mental frequency, a.k.a. the people who are vibrating on a low mental frequency, the people who are still caught in a circle, they're not going to get this, right? Especially when their knowledge depends upon ciphers and circles and degrees, like your Masons, like your Muslims, like your 5%ers. Their knowledge is based on circles and ciphers and degrees. All have circular symbols, meaning that their rituals, right, or spirituals, special rituals, go in a routine, go in a circle, a monotonous circle that never breaks, a revolution. Everything repeats itself. And I said that the reason why they are instructed the way they are via information is because on how to practice these principles, how to recite these lessons and degrees and things like that, is because they're not intelligent. They're not in tune. When I say they're not intelligent, that's not to say that they're stupid. That's to say that they are not in tune, because the word intelligent means in tune with higher intelligence, in tune with communication, because the word tell means to communicate. Intel, in communication with something higher. That is your basis of intelligence, because all true intelligence comes from where? The future state, from advanced thinking, thoughts that are laid out in the future. This is where your intelligence comes from, the true intelligence. This is why the people who received higher intelligence via technology were tuned in to future thought, advanced thinking. They were receiving knowledge from outside the revolutionary way of thinking, outside the routines, outside the rituals. These people were always considered to be outcasts or crazy until what they brought into existence, what they were utilized to bring in, because these people were used as instruments or doors to bring in higher knowledge from the future. These people who thought outside the box, until they bring it in and make it part of the circle, everyone inside the circle thinks that these thoughts they're having is crazy. You understand? But the knowledge from outside the circle, your evolutionary knowledge, expands the circle. Doesn't open it. It opens a little bit, and the people inside the circle receive it, but it also expands the circle. What I mean by that is that certain ideas, like, for example, there was a time where there was no TV. There was a time where there were no radios. There was a time where there were no airplanes. Now we have these things within the circle. We have these things within our realm of imagination, within our realm of thinking. So now the circle of ignorance, I don't say intelligence, the circle of ignorance has now been expanded. Okay? It has now been expanded. So being that the circle of ignorance has been expanded by the linear line of intelligence via your evolution, through future thought, through future knowledge being sent into the circle for expansion, you're going to have people pulling it always, constantly. These people will be chosen as instruments to receive. This is the point of receiving higher intelligence. This is the point of receiving new ways of thinking, to pull a new people into the future. And in all actuality, it is used to actually, in this day and time, separate a people. Right? This is the true difference between these mortal beings, or these men, and these people who will evolve into supermen and superwomen, advanced people, the people who have left the circle. God, as you call him, the supreme being. I only use the word God, because you understand it as a supreme being or a superman or a superwoman, whatever. God differs from man because God is not trapped in a circle. God doesn't exist in a bound existence. God exists outside of a boundless universe, where his intelligence can expand and where he can send and receive intelligence and send messages. But if you're not tuned in, if you're not in tune with this higher intelligence, then what you will do is constantly receive thoughts that are already rotating in the circle via the revolution. You will receive programmed ways of thinking. Your whole idea of God and the devil is based on this. This is really the lower, when the people talk about God and the devil and heaven and hell, that's really your submental state and your mental state. That's just really a primitive way of saying those who control the submental state, aka the revolutionary state, the state of culture, religion, consciousness, and all these things that are here now. These are the people who are in hell. These are the people who are constantly stuck in doing rotations and routines, versus the people outside of that who are in a heavenly state, who are in a mental state receiving higher intelligence. These are the people who will raise out of the circle. This is your 144,000, the people that are being raised out of the black race right now, a.k.a. your bright race, your solar intelligent beings. This is the knowledge of mentellect. Mentellect is for the ones who are mentally chosen, the elect, the chosen ones, who are on the mental list, the ones who have been chosen via judgment or judgmental process or procession. All right? People are chosen before birth to think outside the circle. Others are not. Your thoughts should be outside of this circle. If you say you are in tune, if you say you are intelligent, then your thoughts should not mirror any of the thoughts here. They should go beyond that. You start at the point in the circle where you are receiving that which is in the circle, and then if you are looking to come out of the circle, then you will no longer repeat the things within it. You will bring things from beyond the circle. You will become an instrument for higher intelligence. You will receive, because you on the other side of the circle is connecting with you in the circle. And you on the other side of the circle, or you on the inside of the circle, should be walking toward you on the outside of the circle. You understand? That supreme you, the one who has made it. But if you're not walking outside of the circle toward anything, then that means you are not meant to be on the other side. There's some of our people who are not going to make it to the other side of the circle. They're not going to make it outside of the revolution. This is real. This is real. This is real as I'm sitting here talking to you, as I'm sitting here communicating with you. 01010101010101. 0101 meant what? Right? 0 represented mathematics. 1 represented pathmatics. 0, I'm going to say it again. 0 represented mathematics. 1 represented pathmatics. What is pathmatics? Well, let me explain mathematics. Really, mathematics is a limited number system that goes in rotation to do what? To measure, count time, and regulate time. That's mathematics. What is pathmatics? Pathmatics is straight linear knowledge, telepathy, all paths forward into the future. The elect will move on pathmatics, because pathmatics continues. Mathematics moves in a circle. I don't care if you go from 1 to 99, it's going to always go back, and it'll add more zeros to it. So that's a number system. All right? Any system, all systems move in a circle. Your nature moves in a circle. Everything on this planet moves in a revolution. The Amun race created everything to move in a circle, a system, a systematic procession. Okay? This is why they govern the planet with mathematics, as your 5% say. But the mathematics is limited because it's trapped in a circle. It is only based on time and measure. When you get beyond the sun, mathematics doesn't matter anymore. So math is not universal, because in order for you to say it, you would have to go to every universe to prove that. Math does not matter outside this atmosphere until you go to another atmosphere where they have a totally different way of measuring time based on a solar rotation of that planet or solar system. All systems are based in time. in numbers, in math. Those beyond the system move in path. You understand? Move in higher intelligence, in higher thought, which is constantly expanding like the universe. This is pathmatics. This is what the 144,000 will learn through the knowledge of intellect, what real pathmatics are. You understand? Because we're going to get from beyond time. That's the whole point. That's just a little bit in the evolution of a people who are coming out of the black race that we will learn in time. That will separate us from this submental state, which moves in the evolution. In the revolution. Revolution keeps us doing rituals. Revolution keeps us moving in circles. This is why we stayed in religion doing the same things over and over and over again. It's a trap. It's what, like I said, Sophia Stewart referred to as the matrix. That's why I said everything you do in this society is based in the matrix. You can't think outside this. You understand? You can't think outside this. The Son of Man that's spoken about in the Revelation to come to raise the 144,000, what is he raising them from? The circle. He's raising them mentally from the circle, from the submental state. Who are these people under? These people are under Lucifer. Who is Lucifer? The Luciferians, those who control the circle. Lucifer, the lords of the circle. Okay? These people control your circle. They control your revolution. They control your ciphers and degrees and all this other stuff and all of your circular knowledge. They feed and they use you to feed it. They use you to keep the circle going. They use you to keep the routine and the rotation going. Like hamsters on a wheel. You people can't think outside of jobs. You can't think outside of how you raise your children. You can't think outside of career. You can't think out of any of that. You understand that? You can't think outside that. Everything you say you try, but you keep going back to doing the same thing over and over again. You so much so when you do that, you're strengthening the revolutionary circle. You strengthen it every time. Every time you refuse to go beyond the circle, you strengthen it. You understand that? This is how you strengthen it. You strengthen the circle and you keep it going through routine, through ritual, through spiritual, through special rituals, constantly moving in rotation. You keep it strong by lending your mind to it. A lot of the people, like I said, a lot of our people are not going to be able to get it. A lot of our people are not going to be able to. A lot of our people are not going to be able to move out of this circle. You understand? A lot of our people are not going to be able to move beyond the circle. And in the circle is death. In the circle is constant rotation until you lose your mind. We were not meant to move in a circle, black people. We were meant to move in a straight line. This is why we don't succeed in the society. We never really succeed. You think because some of our people make money, some of our people, they live and drive nice cars and things like that. You think you're free? You're not free from the circle. You're not free from the routine. I used the word nigger on Facebook, and somebody got mad at me for using the word nigger so much. And I said, you know what? He goes, well, why don't you say the word niggas or niggers and whatnot, as if that would have made it better, right? But they didn't say don't use it at all, right? They had a problem with that. They had a problem with that because you're still trapped into that word. They have a problem with that because that word has become part of the routine and the rotation, and they get the desired effect every time they use it. It channels in a certain thing in your mind, even when the white man uses it. Because they got the biggest problem they had with it was the fact that I used it as a black man, and it makes black people today ashamed of, of what they thinking about what white people think when you use it. That's still part of the routine and the rotation. This whole calling yourself black, why I said not to refer to yourself as black anymore, is because that's part of the rotation. That's part of the revolution. That's part of the whole mindset of our people being trapped in the circle. You understand that? That's part of it. you move in a rotation with the white race. You understand? We move in a rotation with these people. We have no existence outside these people. We are trapped in a circle where we're not thinking outside the box. We are constantly moving in a routine. We are constantly moving in a rotation. To break it, to truly break the rotation, to truly break the routine, the state of mental was started. As we are looking to gather our people, the elect, because I said this before, I said that the elect, the 144,000, this is real. This is not anything I'm making up. Just as it spoke about the revelation, the elect, the 144,000, those are your people who have made it beyond the submental state, the people who are thinking on a whole another level, not the people that are still trapped in religion, not the people who are still Christians worshiping Jesus or Allah or Muhammad or whoever, Yahweh Shai, Jewish religion, any other religion, Buddhism. All these people, all these things exist in the revolutionary cycle. So even if you say, oh, well, I'm spiritual, I'm not caught in no revolution, yes, you are. Yes, you are. The 144 will move beyond that. The elect will think beyond the submental state. The whole point of starting the state of mental and gathering the elect was so that we can move beyond that mentally and physically. Just as our people broke the first barrier of the revolutionary cycle, which was slavery in this country, where our routine in slavery was work for the master, stay on the plantation, this, that, and the third, and you ain't got no rights. You get whipped, your women get raped. When people like Harriet Tubman and them broke out, they opened the circle up. You understand? And they made physical evolution, right? By breaking the circle open, because prior to that time, it was unheard of for black people, because that slavery thing was so strong here, they made that a part of the circle, and they made that part of the routine or the revolution or the rotation. They made it a part of that, and that nobody. It was a time when the majority of the people was not thinking outside that box. That was their life. But there were a few people who were thinking outside that box on an evolutionary level, like people like your Harriet Tubman. You understand? Which is why she did what she did. And she shocked the people within the circle with her evolutionary thinking. She said that she was hit in the head by a metal weight that was thrown at her by a white man. And she started having visions. What were the visions she was having? Visions of what? The future. To lead people out of bondage, to lead them beyond that revolutionary circle that they fell into. And she said, like I go back to repeating that all the time, she said, I would have freed more of my people if they knew they were slaves. That is a mental disorder. The people that are moving in the circle in the revolutionary state are suffering from a mental disorder. They don't know how to break routine. They don't know how to break ritual. They don't know how to break spiritual. They don't know. They'll sit here and they'll listen to this broadcast and they'll go, yeah, brother, you right, and they'll go right back to doing what they was doing. The state of mental was being set up to get our people to do something opposite that. But a lot of our people are not getting it. You're talking to a person who used to sell drugs, who did all the negative things. I did all the stuff in the rotation. I did the crime because that's what the black man is doing in the revolution. You are committing crimes. You're going to jail. You're standing around with your pants hanging off your ass. This is what you do in the revolution. This is what you do in the circle that's controlled by the beast, by the Luciferians. You do all these things within the revolution, within the primitive circle that they control, that they sit over, the submental state. And what happens? What happens? You do that until you burn out, until you return back to slavery, to the bondage system. So everything in the circle, as I said, the law of the cipher or the law of the circle is that you're going to return back to where you started. You will return, and a lot of our people are returning back to slavery in the prison system in a different form, where you will be working, where you will be enslaved, where you will give your life to bondage, the bondage. This is reality. This is not nothing fictitious. This is real. Unless our people wake up as that collective and break out of the circle. Until we start creating a new reality. You have to create in a collective a new reality. a new way of life. See, our people were too weak to do that. You understand? Our people were too weak to do that. Mentally, it starts. This is why I get on our people who come to the classes. I say, get out here and help us find our people. Why? Because if we don't strengthen, if we do not strengthen the mentalist, if we do not strengthen the mind as one new force that's moving beyond the revolutionary state, beyond the circle, then we will die here. We will repeat the same things we repeat here in bondage. That's going to happen. Because in the circle, you're not in control of your life. You're not in control of your life when you got to get up and go to work 9 to 5. You're not in control of your life when you got to sit here and have people and you in jail. You got people telling you when to get up, eat, sleep, and crap and do whatever. You're not in control of your life when you have curriculums you have to follow and things like that. You're not in control. You're not working on bringing a new reality into this world. You understand? You're not working on bringing a new reality into this dead state, into this revolutionary state. You're supposed to be opening the circle. That's what our people are supposed to be doing and bringing in a new world. That's what the 144,000 are supposed to be doing. Since our people talk about the Bible so much, you don't even understand that. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, meaning that you're supposed to be bringing down a high mental order. You understand? On earth, the Amen race, the God race, you're supposed to bring that down in you as a collective. You're supposed to be the vessels of those supreme beings. They're supposed to take your body and bring in a new world, but you have to come together as a collective, as the 144,000, because the 144,000 exist as vessels, as instruments for higher intelligence. The difference between man and God or the supreme beings is intelligence, advanced thinking, future knowledge. That's what it's always been. But to the people who don't understand that, these are the people that are moving in the revolution. These are the people that are moving in the circles of rituals and routines. You know, I went into a lot of these groups, you know, and you got people, you got Negroes in there still reciting lessons and degrees, the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm like, damn, you saying the same things over and over and over again. And then you're going to talk about, you know, that's supposed to deepen your thought. How so? How is reciting, praying over and over again, going to church over and over again, doing the same thing over and over again in ritual, how does that deepen your thought? How does that open you up to receive the higher intelligence of God? How do you become God doing that? Answer, you don't. That's why it was given to you. It was given to you to make you move in a circle, to cut your connection. To cut your connection to that intelligent state in which the God exists on the other side, meaning you. Are you an instrument of God receiving higher intelligence? And I'm not talking about no God of religion. I'm not talking about no gods in the circle, because all that God and really that Jesus, that God, that Allah, that Yahweh, that Hashem, those are all false gods in the circle created by man, revolutionary gods. Gods who had a point where they started and have a point where they're going to end. I'm talking about the true and living God, the evolutionary God, Amen. You understand? The true and living God, not no false God, the God who never left this world, who was always sending messages to the elect, to the chosen people. But we didn't listen. We didn't listen. We wanted to accept the false gods of religion. We wanted to accept those fake voices and spirits and spooks and banging our heads on the floor and studying degrees and lessons and trying to figure out this, that, and the third and whatnot. But we kept going in circles and circles and circles, and now a door is open. Now the door is open to receive higher intelligence. A lot of our people are not going to get it because it takes a leap of intelligence. It takes a leap of intelligence to walk out of your church, to walk out of your mosque, to walk out of your thing. Because as soon as you clear everything out, then your mind will be open to receive. Then you will receive the intelligence of God, i.e. the supreme beings, your higher self. You will be in tune. You will be in tune with the evolutionary state, which is a linear line of pathmatic or future knowledge. Where does the pathmatic start? The pathmatic starts with what? Telepathy. Your first connection, your first new connection, which will strengthen as the elect come together. Some of our people are already having telepathic connection. You understand? But it will fade if our people don't come together as a collective, as a new intelligence community. You understand? Because telepathy works on what? Intel. All of this works on intelligence. I was explaining to this 5%er that, your mathematics and things like that, because he said the state of Intel has no foundation. I said the foundation of the state of Intel is intelligence. And he said, what is intelligence? I said, wow. What is intelligence? Then he said intelligence is spooky. I said, your mathematics came out of intellect, out of higher communication. Intelligence is higher communication, mental communication. But that was over his head because he's been in the circle too long. He's lost his mind. A lot of our people have been spinning. What happens when you spin in a circle? You constantly moving in a circle, doing the same things over and over again. Same effect when you spinning around, like spinning around, someone spins you around, you get what? Dizzy. You get dizzy. And a lot of our people are dizzy today. A lot of our people say things and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. A lot of our people cannot think beyond this circle, and that's what the circle was put there to do. It was put there to keep you bound. It was also put there for the humans to follow, not you. See, outside the circle, because the 5% guy told me, he said, well, we bringing knowledge to the human family. I said, we're not. I said, this knowledge is for the elect, the almond race. We're not part of the human race. Inside the circle, you think we all human. Outside of the circle, we know we're not. We know we are not part of the human race. We know that we, as those pathmatic beings, those almond beings, those mentalists, those people who possess mentalic capabilities, are not part of the human race. The human race was meant to move in a circle and die. The almond race was meant to continue. And we continue and breathe life elsewhere and still here. Artificial life, to move in a circle. Why? To serve the planet, to serve the purpose of the planet, to serve everything that moves in this revolution. See, because the God race, your almond beings, who you refer to as God, created the circle. And they allowed the beast, your Luciferians, to be over it. They allowed them to control the submental state. They allowed them to keep control over the rest of the humans, which was originally our jobs. You understand? What are your humans meant to do? They were made to come, work, live for a short period of time and die. That's it. You had another purpose, but now you think you're like them. And you're trapped in a circle of madness right now. Our people could listen to this and say, yeah, brother, you're right, but then you're going to go back and do the same thing. Yeah, brother, you're right, but then you're going to go back and do the same thing. I'm living proof that this is real. I was in a routine, as I was about to say, and I interrupted myself. I was in a routine, going in circles, selling drugs, laying up with women, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. I'm still, doing what I do as far as with women. But that's another story. Anyway, me being funny. I was caught in that whole circle of selling drugs, of buying clothes, of doing this, of doing all the things in the routine and the ritual. And then something started to resonate to me. Something said something right here is not right. Something's not right here. This don't feel real. You understand? And it wouldn't leave me alone. This surreality, this world, everything that I was going through, it wouldn't leave me alone. I had to separate myself. You understand? And once I separated myself, once I gave up everything, the light became clear. The intelligence started to come in. I started to receive. I became a ray. You understand? I became a receiver. So much so that I still hear the message. The messages are coming stronger and stronger every day. And I don't care who doesn't acknowledge it. That's why it was possible for me to start the State of Mental, to talk about the mentalists, to raise the 144,000 in this day and time. People can sit up here and say I'm motivated by money or I'm trying to be deep, and it's none of the above. Just that strong sense that I am connected and I know, and I'm supposed to be doing this, and that this knowledge is flowing through me right now, not from me, but through me. I don't have a philosophy. You understand? I don't have an opinion. I don't have any principles. I don't live by those things. I live by intelligence. One principle, which is intelligence, higher intelligence. In the world of the almond beings, there's only intelligent and ignorant. There's no good and bad. There's no God and devil. I only use that because that's what people understand. But this higher knowledge is going to advance the thinking of these people who are looking to come out of the circle. That should be our only focus, to come out of the circle and come together. Anything else, you're keeping the circle going. You understand that? If you still going to the church and praying, you keeping the revolution going. You part of the matrix. You keeping the circle going. If you still you ain't trying to figure an exit plan from your job, or you're not trying to come amongst the elect in this day and time and help the evolution, then you part of the revolution. You part of the circle. You're keeping the circle stronger. You're supposed to be walking the linear line. But as I was saying, I was doing all the things in the circle, and I was making money, selling the drugs, doing all this stuff. Now you look at me today. I started a beverage company. I did something that nobody ever thought a black man would do. I started selling water and turned it into a company, and it's growing. Starting selling beverages. I'm going to do a comic book line. I'm thinking outside the box, because inside the box, black men don't do things like this. See, inside the box, your black men, they not even man enough to make their own goddamn movies. They got to still wait on the white man. See, because in the box, you belong to him. You still a slave. But when you got black men thinking outside that, that's dangerous. When they no longer want to walk around with chains on their minds, or black men want to walk around with chains on their mind, they're not saying, well, I can't. You're going to have some nigga next to you talking about, well, this is why you can't do that, man. Why you can't do that? They're going, because they want, it's the same way as how our people was trying to leave slavery and get the hell out of there. You had the slave niggas in there. They tried to convince you to stay. And that's the same way as our people are going to start to wake up and become part of the elect, the chosen ones, and they're going to walk out of the circle, and a whole new reality is going to be created for them as they start thinking it into existence. And this is real. This is not, don't worry about the damn white man and all these other people. Don't worry about them. See, because you keep him strong as well. A lot of you, like I said, as you start to come amongst your own, the 144,000, you're going to produce that new reality that's going to be separate from his world. You understand? You're going to produce that reality that's going to be separate from his world. You're going to be moving side by side with each other, but you're not going to be in each other's presence, in the same existence. You're not going to be able to interact as it was supposed to be. You weren't supposed to interact with them. You weren't supposed to mix your seed with them, because once you did that, you stepped into the circle. You wasn't supposed to accept their religions. You wasn't supposed to accept their philosophies. You wasn't supposed to go and work on their jobs. You wasn't supposed to be part of anything they did, because once you did that, you became a part of their world. You became a part of their reality. And in their reality, you ain't nothing but a nigga. You understand? Whether you shaking your ass in the club, whether you smoking blunts on the block, whether you think you free and you getting $100K a year at a job where you black women dress up in two-piece suits and skirts, and you thought you got your job, you a slave. You a mental slave. They'll give you $1 million, they'll give you $2 million, they'll give you $1 billion, because the money don't mean nothing. They use that as a hedge around your neck, and you stay in bondage. You keep your world from coming in by serving theirs. This is real. A lot of our people don't want to acknowledge that, because the world I speak of, the world that's to come, the world that's trying to break through the circle, the world where some of our people are starting to come together gradually, as what we're trying to bring in the Supermen, Superwomen Project, bringing the elect together. Because I said the Supermen, Superwomen Project is just the super mental projection. That's just what it's short for. Ain't got nothing to do with no damn superheroes and none of that, even though the people who are in that super mental projective state will advance beyond, you understand, will advance beyond this stage of where they at and become supreme beings mentally and physically. It will follow. Yes, this is the evolution that's taking place. A lot of our people, like I said, they don't understand the evolution and revolution. You don't understand that you're traveling in a circle. A lot of our people are not going to get this. A lot of our people, this is over their head. Like, to a lot of people, it sounds like I'm talking gibberish. To a lot of people, it sounds like I'm crazy, but that's what it's supposed to sound like to you. You're not supposed to get it. You're part of the black race. In the black race, you exist in the circle. You are slaves still, mentally. You understand that? That's where you want to be. This is not religion. This is not culture. This is not philosophy. This is not any of the things that you're going to try to lower it down to so that you can understand it. Because a nigga will always try to lower it and bring it down to the sub-mental state so that they can understand it, instead of trying to raise their intelligence beyond where they at and moving out of that so that they can get an ultra standing of it. They're going to try to bring it down to their level. But you can't do that with this knowledge of intellect. You can't. It's beyond you, and it's supposed to be. It's not meant to be in the hands of a nigger. It's supposed to be in the hands of free people, people who are free mentally, this new knowledge. This knowledge of the elect, the 144,000, won't come to you Willie Lynch niggas in the conscious community, in the conscious movement, who all y'all niggas concerned about is money. All you niggas in the church, y'all all sing the same song. Y'all concerned about money, money, money. That's all you care about. And you never get it. You'll always chase it because that's part of the revolution. You keep the circle going. You keep the cycle of madness going. When our people could have stepped outside of that circle and we could have established our own world. We could have been did that. We could have been moved beyond this. But a lot of our people, they don't want to do it because in the circle, you find security, even though there really is none, but you have this illusion that there is security. You have this illusion that there is comfort in the beast and what he offers you. So you stay, just like you stayed on the plantation. Just like you'll stay in religion, just like you'll stay in the circle, you'll stay in culture, you'll stay in metaphysics, you'll stay in all of these things that are part of the revolutionary state. You won't step outside of the box. You won't step outside onto mentellect and become a mentalist and become a receiver and come together with your people. That's why I tell my people, when you come to the Supermen, Superwomen project, the stronger our reception becomes, the stronger our force becomes, the more you're opening up the world for us. You're opening up that next level for us to receive stronger. That's why I get on. I'm not going because I just want a membership drive and I want a lot of people with me. And actually I don't want a lot of people. The 5% guy, he gets on there and this Negro goes, oh, well, your board ain't lighting up and, you ain't got a lot of people listening. Maybe if you did this, you get a lot. I said, I don't want a lot of people listening to me. I didn't get on here to try to be no goddamn radio personality. You understand that? I'm not here to be a radio personality. I'm not here to entertain you. This is not a show. This is a broadcast. This is a broadcast of higher intelligence that's being given. And it's going to be over you Negroes' heads, the ones of you who still vibrating on that submental state. And yes, if you think I'm talking above you, yes, I am, purposely. We don't want to be like you no more. We like them free people who wanted off of the goddamn plantation. We don't want to be slaves with you no more. We don't want to talk in rituals and in tones and talk about religion no more. We don't want to hear about your Jesus Christ no more. We don't want to hear about your Allah. We don't want to hear about your Satan. We don't want to hear about your knowledge, your degrees. We don't give a damn about it. You understand that? That's all in the circle. That's slave teachings. We don't want your slave teachings anymore. We want free teachings. We want to free our minds mentally and become stronger. This is what we're talking about in the state of mental, in the knowledge of intellect, through pathmatics. Supreme pathmatics, real pathmatics, the true knowledge, the true state of motion and movement on that evolutionary stage for the almond race, for the bright race. There's new people that are coming out of the black race, out of the black prison, out of bondage, out of mental bondage. There is a new freedom going on. There is a new abolition. What they call that? What they used to call it, abolition. There's a new abolition going on right now. We are the new abolitionists in this day and time, the state of mental, because we're freeing the minds of our people. No, we don't give a damn what anybody says. They say we're crazy or these guys are out there and whatnot. But to the ones who are in tune, they know exactly what I'm talking about. The elect know exactly what I'm talking about. The ones of our people who are breaking the circle, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Because even if we introducing things into the circle that is beyond this, opening the circle up and introducing things in to bring people out, it's going to make sense. You understand? It's going to make sense. Even as far out as you think it is, it's going to make sense. But to the people who are slaves mentally, they're not going to get it. You know what they'll do? They'll hear me talking, but they're not going to be able to tune into it because it's not familiar to them. It's not part of their routine. It's not part of their rotation. It's not part of their revolutionary way of thinking. It doesn't move in a circle. The knowledge of intellect doesn't move in a circle. This knowledge moves straight along on a linear path. I said pathmatics moves in a linear state. The knowledge of the free people, the bright race, moves in a linear state. The almond beings move in a linear state. God moves in a linear state. Just as the universe is constantly expanding, your knowledge, your way of thinking is supposed to be constantly expanding, meaning you're not supposed to be repeating the same things you were doing yesterday. You're not supposed to be going back to the church. You're not supposed to be going back. You're supposed to be making exit plans from your job. You're not supposed to be doing none of these things. You're not supposed to be sitting around talking about the same spiritual bullshit that you were talking about before. You're supposed to be moving on. You understand? No, I'm not a religious man at all. It's not for the religious. It's not for the ritualistic people. You're not going to get it. But those of our people, because we're not going to bring it down into the circle for you. We're going to open it up. And like a magnet, those are the people who are attracted to it. They're going to come. Those are our people who are not. Like I said, we're not looking for people to convince. Or either you get it or you don't. Either you part of the circle or you part of the line. We are part of the line. We are the 1% formation. We are the 1%ers, meaning that we're moving collectively. The mentalists are moving collectively on the line. You understand? As one new people, one mind, one body, one soul. No spirit. One mind, one body, one soul. As one receiver. Because if you gather the minds together, then that's reception. If you get the minds focused on something higher beyond the circle, that's reception. You understand that? Elijah Muhammad, he tried to do it in the Nation of Islam. But what grounded them back into the circle was the degrees, the cipher, the knowledge, and the Islam. You can't, like I tell the 5% of God, no, this is not your knowledge. This is not what y'all not saying what we saying, because you're still connected to Islam. That's like saying I'm half free, but I still have the chain on my foot. Anything that's connected to any of these things from the past, you're still connected. You don't get that. And I think I see the brother listening. Anything that's connected to the past, you're not supposed to be connected to it. If you're sitting here and you're trying to come up with a different acronym on Islam, that's like me coming up with an acronym on Christianity. I'm still connected to Christianity. You're still connected to Islam. I don't care what you call it. You adding on to things means you're making stuff up. The true knowledge of God is future knowledge. That's not made up. That came through continuous thought. That came through and it won't be connected to the rituals of man. You understand that? This is what we came to give our people. The knowledge of mentellect. Knowledge for those who are mentally chosen, the mentally elect. You understand? This is the new knowledge for the rays, the receivers, the receptionists, the mentalists. Well,
good morning, Detroit.
Telepathy is the first path to supreme pathmatics. I'm going to say it again. Telepathy is the first and continuous path to supreme pathmatics. The almond beings, the bright race, moves linear on pathmatics, not mathematics. We move linear. Pathmatics deals with what? Straight linear path knowledge that does not repeat, that does not return. Ciphers repeat and return as part of the revolutionary way of thinking, of the revolutionary cycle, the slave state of thinking, the slave mind. Free people move continuously, you understand? In a straight line, continuously. Never to repeat what it is they were saying again. This should be ultra-stood amongst the mentalists. Ultra-standing deals with light. Light deals with intelligence. Intelligence deals with communication, frequency. Those things we pick up as we're moving further ahead. You understand that? These are the things that are moving us ahead out of the circle. This is the rescue mission. This is the building of the environmental soldier. The environmental soldier. Look at that word. This is the building of it, the building of him and her. God has no gender, woman or man. God. God could be woman, God could be man. You come together, you understand, as one. You move continuously outside of the circle and you continue in your mental evolution. This is reality. This is real. This is evolution. I explained that as your children are coming, they are going to be more intelligent than you. That's supposed to happen. They're not supposed to be repeating the same things that you were saying. They're not supposed to be following the same cultures and rituals that you were following. They're supposed to be smarter than you. They're supposed to be more intelligent than you. That's like saying that your children, if you lived 150, 200 years ago, that you're going to continue having your children ride around in horses and carriages and buggies and horses and carriages when you now have cars. You understand? You now have a higher form of transportation, just as you now have a higher way of thinking that is beyond the submental state. This is what you should be seeking out. Not ritual, not routine, but you keep going back to the ritual and routine. You should want to be around people because our evolution would come about much stronger once we find our people. That is the mission, to find the bright race, to find the mentals. I'm not here to teach the black race. I'm not here to teach the human family. I'm here to teach the bright race, the evolutionary ones who are coming out of the black race. I'm going to keep saying that. You understand? So it's not misunderstood by people who thinking, oh, well, brother, what you trying to say? I done said it. This is for the elect. This is not for everybody. The true knowledge of God is not for everybody. Why? Because people will take it, you understand, and make it into what they want to make it into. They will try to make it fit into the circle, into the revolution, into the rotation. They're going to try to do it how they want to do it. In other words, they're going to add on to make it what they want to make it. That's not what you can do with this knowledge. It is as is purposely, and it's being laid out that way for you to follow the path. But a lot of our people won't follow out of ego because your ego is trapped in the rotation, in the revolution. A lot of our people will stay trapped in the revolutionary cycle because of your ego. You understand? Your ego, this I'm going to do me, that whole mindset was created by the Luciferians to break up the fusion, to create confusion, meaning against the fusion, meaning against the coming together. That's why when I talk about coming together and us living as one, a lot of our people, they're going to have a problem with that because they want to do them. You're under the submental state. You're part of the Luciferians. Their plan worked on you, but they're together. They promote individualism in the cipher, in the circle. I'm my own God. I don't got to listen to nobody. They promote that in the circle to cause confusion, to keep people from coming together, because fusion means to come together. Confusion means against the coming together, against breaking the fusion. You understand that? We are no longer a part. The bright race will separate themselves from the human race, from the human race and the black race. You will think on a higher level. You will advance on a higher level. You will physically advance on a higher level because you will receive solar intelligence. There are solar intelligent beings amongst us right now telling us how to eat a certain diet, telling us how to keep ourselves, telling us what to gravitate toward and what not to gravitate toward. People who came as instructors and guides for the bright race to usher us out of this black prison, to usher us out of Africanism, to usher us out of Islam, to usher us out of Christianity, to usher us out of Judaism, to usher us out of all of these dead knowledge slave teachings from the past, this circular revolutionary slave mindset, this Latin monotony of nonsense. You understand? Because that's what ends up happening. You end up receiving nonsensical ways of thinking once you constantly keep moving in a circle. And like I said, you people in the conscious movement say this all the time. You go, oh, if you keep moving in circles and expect to get different results, then that's insanity. You are inside of sanity. You are inside of the circle. You will not relax your ego and come out. You have to come out as one, not as many. I explained to a brother that there will be no different paths to come out. There will only be one path. You understand? There will only be one path. That path will not be connected to any of these teachings in the circle. This path will be an evolutionary path. It will be a straight linear path. There will be no ciphers, degrees, and rituals or spiritual practices to it. Doesn't work that way. It will all be based on intelligence, meaning communication, how high you raise your level of thinking. If you cannot do this, then you will not be on the path. You will die in a circle. You will die doing the same rituals over and over and over again until the beast returns you to your original form of bondage. Because you are being ushered along back into a circular mindset. You're being ushered along back into a bigger scheme that includes the bondage still. These people purposely don't see you any different. They purposely keep you from succeeding in life because you're not supposed to exist or succeed within the circle. You're supposed to exist and succeed outside of it, collectively. Give you an example. You look at the Jews. Use them for an example. You go in their communities, right? And what they're doing by living collectively together, dressing the same, looking the same, doing the same, having their own stores and things like that, they virtually created, in a way, in a small, round way, they virtually created their own world. Inside their community, they have their own policing, they have their own everything. They virtually created their own world, within a society. They created their own society. You understand? They don't go outside that. You can't get black people to do that. Dr. York was trying to actually do that in the Ansar Allah community. You understand that? Where these people virtually created their own society. Where they moved, shop, ate, lived for, up and by. He was trying to do that. Because that's the first step to moving a people beyond a circle that they're caught in. But a lot of our people want to stay in the circle. You still want to stay on your jobs. You still care about your 401k. You still care about the NBA playoffs. You still care about going to clubs and shaking your ass in the club. Like I said, that's what you care about. You niggas still care about smoking weed on the corner and talking a bunch of nigga nonsense. That's what you care about. I'm going to say it. I'm gonna be raw and uncut. Told you. I'm not trying to ease nobody or talk to y'all a certain kind of way. I'm talking to you how it is. I'm going to take a call. 208.
Hello, good brother. My name is Salahuddin. I was just really so engrossed in what you were saying. I forgot I was on the. I can't. I couldn't have said it better. Really. Just quickly, I just want to say, I've always looked at, as you said, trying to live off the grid, thinking outside of the box. I looked at, you said examples of people who realizing, coming to terms with the fact that, okay, this society is not meant for us. Am I going to live for my dignity? Am I going to stop following this group of people who are really headlong? I mean, the rule of the white supremacists, the racism, white supremacy, literally in terms of history is a flash in the pan. For those of us who have an awareness of, history, the scope of it. It's a very short period of time. Now, it's starting to fizzle out. It's a short fuse. It's had a big boom, but it's a short fuse. They're imploding. Their degeneracy, their constant warfare, nuclear weaponry. If this so-called civilization, this organization of theirs, is doomed to self-destruction, and we can either partake in it, as you said. I always look at, you said, the Jews, the Orthodox Jews. They live a very simplistic lifestyle. Their goal is they're in a survival mode. They realize that they're an embattled people. I look at the Amish, like you said, groups of people. We don't have to live exactly like them, but I see the examples of other people who have rejected this culture. But as you said, a lot of our people, unfortunately, like in the allegory of the Jews led by Moses out of Pharaoh's Egypt, and Dathan wanted to bring them back into Egypt. They were led out of bondage, and they wanted to go back into bondage. But it took them 40 years of wandering in the desert which was only take them a couple of days to get to Canaan, the promised land, but they needed that to learn self-sufficiency. We have, for many of our people, and you know it, my good brother, Dr. York was right. I live in New York City. I used to go on Bushwick. We were proud to see those brothers, man. They had their own garb. They had their own area, and they all lived together. We were proud of them. That was an example. Honestly, some of the brothers, they may have fallen short, and maybe, sometimes they could be a little disrespectful. But every nation has to work out, hash out its problems internally. But that was a kernel. I know that they left. I forgot where they go down the south somewhere. But the goal is to be self-sufficient. The goal is not, we're not starting a nation. We're not going to be having what these people have, because most of what this culture is really from the rape and exploitation and amassing to themselves the intellectual, material, and human capital of other people. Like Rome. Rome was not a genius. I mean, they took from the Etruscans. They conquered other people and took their expertise and incorporated it into their civilization, just like the white man has done here. We've contributed a great deal, scientifically, economically, but my brother, I just want to say I really appreciate you, brother, and even though we don't know each other, we know the truth. Truth is truth, and even though we don't know each other independently of each other, we're going to happen on to it because, those once the veil has been lifted, anybody can see it. Doesn't matter what background. White people can see it.
Well, here's the thing.
Yes, Lord.
Unless our people are ready to let go of everything in the system, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, all the things you held in this society, unless our people are ready to walk outside it and start blank, then you're going to be in bondage, no matter whether the white man sitting over this thing. So it's beyond the black and white thing, because just as you have him sitting in control as the Luciferians, those who control this circle or this revolutionary state, just as you have these people in control, as he leaves, there'll be somebody, it'll be the Asian or somebody else that's going to fill that seat. So it's up to our people, if we truly want out of this thing, to leave all of these things behind. All of the things that are connected to mankind, his religion, his philosophy, his culture, all of that has to go. Now, unless our people are ready to do that, then you're going to stay here. Don't matter who's in charge. I don't care about the white man. I don't care about the black man. We talking about the bright race, the intelligent, solar intelligent beings. That's where we at. Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm listening. Again, I agree 100%. It takes, and as you said, it takes a certain courage. And that's one thing I think that I know the 5% when we talk about, even metaphorically or literally, that I am God. We are equipped as individuals, even if we just dropped out of the sky today, us as a people. Why would we want to draw from our enemies' philosophies, which they created for their own interest, not for our best interest? It comes out of there's a book by Michael Bradley called Iceman Inheritance. It gives us some insight of the European mindset and so forth.
We don't care. Well, let me stop you again. I don't mean to cut you off, brother.
Sure.
We don't care. Let me just say this. I don't mean to cut you off. We don't care about the white man's mindset. We don't care about him. We don't care about the black man no more. Because the black man, to tell you the truth, he's no different than the majority of these black men out here, no different from the white man now. They are in that circle with him. So the hell with the black race and the hell with the white race. We only interested in the ones who are coming out of the black race as the bright men and bright women.
That's the point that I'm making, brother. Some of these books that even I mentioned are actually helping people to come to that understanding. Some people, whatever path that they go through, whether it's reading Michael Bradley's book, but I'm not going to be disparage or be an obscurantist and tell somebody that they shouldn't read that book, and it may have been instrumental. Like, Malcolm X had read certain books, Don't Quit, and he studied the dictionary. Whatever path a trajectory a brother or sister or whomever comes to their understanding, I'm not going to begrudge them, their process. So I'm saying for me, my process was reading that. One of the books that I read was that book. And it's not focusing on them. That helped me to disengage from them. Because a lot of us need to demythologize white people, and the more we start to understand that these people, are not perfect, these people, what black people did do, it can help us to come into our own and to self-actualize as individuals. So, I'm not going to tell people they should read. Sometimes we can intuit certain things, and I'm not going to tell you or anybody else how they should go about doing it. But as long as we have pretty much the same goal in common. I'm going to support you in your process, even if it may not be exactly like my own. But
then that's an oxymoron. There, you say we might have the same goal. So we're supposed to have, if we are together. And this is what I keep trying to say. We who are coming out of the circle, we are coming out as one. It's not going to be no different path. It's only going to be one path.
No, that's not
it.
true, brother. You have like
that it is true, brother. That's it. It's no
brother,
different.
You don't have to argue. Listen, you have the military. You have a nation. Some people will be diplomats. Some people will be generals in the military. You know, we don't have to argue about this, brother. That's being mature. That's having the open-mindedness to realize that if you have nation building, there are going to be people who have various roles that may sometimes seem in conflict. You know, the mouth and the anus do two different roles, but they both are necessary for the human organism. You see, so, I mean, prima facie, or at first glance, you may think that way, but I'm saying one of the things we need not do is debate, bro. We don't have to argue. I'm a member of the International African-American Caucus. My name is Senator sᴘᴜᴜᴜᴜ. That's one of the problems I think we have, is that we tend to debate unnecessarily. Then it's like a dog chasing his tail. I'm not trying to play a game of one-upmanship with you. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to stay on the line. I got to go. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, brother. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Three one four. You're on the air.
My name is can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
My name is ᴇᴠᴏʟᴜᴛɪᴏ tribe, St. Louis. I agree with a lot of what he's saying. It's just so hard to convince people to live outside of that box. You know, like, because people so used to, modernization of life, their electricity, their little gadgets and doohickeys. They used to being able to go to the store and go buy them a Twinkie or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So it's real hard. Like, I've had this idea for the longest to create this artist guild where basically all the members in the guild will live in the guild as monks, and the stuff that we do there, would be our culture, whatever that was. When we talking about artistry, that's everything in life. And you would be surprised how many people just don't get it or don't want to be along with it. Like the idea is not rooted in religion. It's not rooted in no one particular theology. You know what I'm saying? It's a really universal idea. I want to be part of like this whole a free college. Like a free university.
Well, so let me stop you, brother. So what you're saying is you talking about a commune with people living like monks, and they just basically bring different knowledge and things like that, but they live collectively as a culture, bringing different knowledge in and stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
Wrong. That's not what we're talking about. And like I tried to explain to the brother, you cannot take things here and take it outside the circle, because you're going to still be in the circle. You said, and the brother, I'm trying to explain something to him, and the brother's saying that, and I'm trying to make a debate out of it. I'm not trying to make a debate out of anything. I'm not arguing about anything. When we talking about moving past the circle, we're talking about going blank. I said no more Islam, no more African talk, no more none of this stuff that's here. We're going blank, and we're receiving as receivers, as mentalists. Because that's when you get past all that stuff, when you erase all that bullshit off the board, all that Islam, Christianity, all that stuff off the board that the white man gave us. See, our people want to still hold on to these things, and they want to still try to move outside the circle. And you're not going to be able to. The circle works. When you leave the circle, you leave naked. You leave blank. You understand that? Our people not ready to do that. The brother, I tried to explain this to him. What I'm talking about, we're not talking about the same thing. And I'm not trying to be combative with the brother. I'm not trying to debate. But see, when you try to explain something to people, they want to take it like, oh, brother, well, we shouldn't be debating. I'm trying to explain my point. You understand? You explained your point, and he said that what he's trying to do is similar to, and I said, no, it's not. What you didn't hear, you heard what you wanted to hear, and that's the problem with our people. You hear what you want to hear. I talked about the bright race. I don't care about the human race. We don't care about the black race. We don't care about the white race. We don't care about the Iceman papers. We don't care about none of these things. We're not interested in. We're talking about the elect, the 144,000 receiving higher intelligence from outside this space to move us. We're not taking Islam with us. We're not. That's why I said if the brother you ain't willing to give up Islam and all this other stuff, you still in the circle, man. That's what we talking about. If you're not ready to do that, because I'm trying to explain to the brother, I gotta go. You stood on the phone long enough to tell me all this stuff. Then when I'm trying to explain, brother, I ain't here to I gotta go. Yeah. See, that's there. But then we supposed to get together with that, right? We supposed to get together under that. You want to come up here and give a whole long dissertation about us coming together and we on the same page, and that's the problem with the older black race. Y'all, the older black race want to be heard. They don't want to listen. They don't understand that the future and these people coming up, they know better than you. They're the ones who are going to receive higher intelligence, because the children are supposed to be leading the parents in this day and time. They're supposed to be coming up. My son's supposed to be smarter than me. I'm supposed to. There's a point where I raise him. Then a point that he's supposed to be teaching me stuff. You understand? But see, the black man, like I said, our people are goddamn stubborn, and they don't want to listen. They want to come with their old knowledge. It's not going to resonate in the future. They don't get that. You understand? So if you're trying to start, so let me just finish this point. If you're trying to talk about starting something, going off the grid and all this other stuff, because that's even that going off the grid stuff, they've been talking about that in this society. That's still a white man. That's still in this circle. I'm talking about going blank and being receivers of higher intelligence, going outside everything that's here and starting fresh. That's what we're doing in the knowledge and intellect. You understand? But people will always people in this circle will always try to relate what we doing to what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And bring it down.
Yeah, it's kind of like I said, I'm an artist, man, and a lot of the stuff that I think of and I draw, it don't really come, directly from any one source. And I come up with these things, and people are like, oh, where does this come from? And I tell them, I don't know. I just put the pen on the paper, and it just come and it flow out. And a lot of these younger kids, they like this, even with like the hip hop thing. And they get into like this what they call the zone. When they get to freestyling, and they don't know what they're gonna say when they're gonna say it. But when it comes out, it's fresh, it's crisp, it's clean, and it might take somebody years to master like those type of linguistic skills to do that, even though it's on a lower form, of existence, but it's still impressive, to see these young kids to come out and do these amazing things. And like you said, they supposed to be way more advanced than we are. And it's the same that we can't facilitate them.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they're supposed, because they're supposed to be, a lot of these kids were spitting out these lyrics and memorizing these 16 bars. They're supposed to be memorizing biotechnology, things like that. Their mind's supposed to be focused on that. But because the beast got them all into the hip hop and saying all kind of stupidity and nonsense, their minds is being wasted on BS. So, like I said, I'm even down on the whole hip hop thing. I don't even want to hear that no more. We tired of that. We don't want to hear nothing about no hip hop. We don't want to hear nothing about Pan Africanism. We don't want to hear no more Islam. We tired of that. It's a broken goddamn record now. I mean, it's a broken record, and it's a waste of time. We don't want to hear nothing about no mathematics and no astrology. We don't want to hear nothing.
If we talking about like higher science, then we can talk about like creating energy. With magnets, permanent magnets. Like, I've been thinking about, trying to design a couple of systems myself. There's real simple science, using magnet energy to create, the energy that's already leaked. I mean, Tesla, he done it. He stole everything. He's learned from the Egyptians. I'm with you. I want to go to the next higher plane, man. This stuff is retarded. We sitting here got to eat every day just to sustain this body, and it's just,
Well, then, brother, you know what? You want a good source. You trying to think outside the box and whatnot. What city you in?
I'm in St. Louis. We call it Mound City. It's the city of the dead to me.
Okay, well, like I said, that's the black race today, brother. The black race is finished, brother.
Yeah.
In the future, there is no black race. In the future, there's only the bright race. There's the people who will survive this thing that's going to take place amongst our people, and the evolutionary people, the thinkers, are going to come out of it. The black race are going back into bondage, and even in a lot of your white race, they going off the planet too, man. It's a new people coming up, and this is what I've been trying to explain. We're not going by no old paradigms and dynamics no more. That's over with. You understand? When we talk about mentellect, when we talk about mentellect and being receivers and things like that, and the true and living God, which is us in the future state, Amen, as a race of people, this is real, brother. And like I said, some of our people, this is reaching out to us, this is coming through here, not from here. This is coming through here to reach certain people, the elect. If you feel you're a part of that elect, brother, like I said, tune in. Like I said, stay in touch with me. You can hit me up on the Facebook. I don't know if you on Facebook. You become my friend on Facebook.
In God on Facebook.
Say again now?
I said I'm in God on Facebook.
In God?
In God. INKGOD.
Okay. All right. Hit me up. You in the chat room?
Which chat room you talking about? I'm
on the blog talk. Are you on the blog talk chat room?
Oh yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, all right. Sister, Natural Diva, please put up my Facebook page, ᴇᴠᴏʟᴜᴛɪᴏ. You can go and hit me up on the Facebook and become my friend. You can listen to the broadcast and whatnot. Help us spread the message of Mentellect Supermen, Superwomen Project, which is the super mental projection, what it's short for, which means to bring our people together as mentalists, as one force, one new people, one new society, one new intelligence community, or future intelligence community. That's what we building. We're interested in building a future intelligence community. Huh? Now, it's more than the concept, brother. This is reality.
I said collective consciousness.
Oh, yeah, collective, collective. No, collective intelligence. Collective intelligence. Ain't no consciousness.
Hive mind, like insect.
Exactly, collective intelligence. That's what that is. Collective intel. That's what it is. No more conscious. We're not dealing with the consciousness, because them people that resonate that whole conscious vibe, they caught in the present, and those educated people, they caught in the past. We moving into the future. Okay.
Right. It ain't even here yet.
Yeah, well, the future is coming, brother. We in the present future. The future is already laid out. It's for us to move on that path toward it. The future's already laid out. You follow?
Yeah, of course I follow.
Okay. Well, like I said,
how do you really make that transition though, man? Like,
let go. Stop doing what you're doing. That's how. That's the start. Stop doing what you're doing. If you smoking weed,
when you say that, like, what do you mean? I mean, like, what do you mean, like, stop doing what you're doing?
What are you doing in the routine?
Like, because you got to be really, you got to be really clear on that. Because like when you say stop doing what you're doing, like that don't just affect self.
Well, I'm explaining to you. What I mean is, if you're dealing with religion, if you're dealing with getting high, if you're out here getting high, if you're dealing with religion, if you're dealing with negative people or people who just thinking in a circular state and there's no future to them, then cut all them people off. Clear your mind out and start blank. You understand? That's how you do that.
Yeah,
clear your mind out and start blank. And, help us find our people. Like I said, we trying to find the mentalists and whatnot. And don't come with any preconceived notions, because be willing to start blank as a baby, man, because all that stuff you learned in the last millennium, all that consciousness stuff, it don't matter. It's not going to matter in the future, because all those things were based on perceptions of man, and they were limited. Now we've come on to the line of we have the ability to link ourselves into unlimited knowledge, where we will continue to travel in a path, which is why I talked about pathmatics, not mathematics anymore. See, the sister she put my name in the chat room right now. Do you see it?
No, I'm listening to you on the phone now.
Okay, ᴇᴠᴏʟᴜᴛɪᴏ. You can go in there, and when you go in there, if you got a pen, you can write it down. Look in the chat room, you'll see ᴇᴠᴏʟᴜᴛɪᴏ. That's my name. You go in there, and when you go on Facebook, request me as a friend, and I'll accept your friend request. Okay, brother?
Yes, sir.
All right, you should see it in the chat room. She put it up there, ᴇᴠᴏʟᴜᴛɪᴏ. So just send me a friend request, all right?
All right.
All right, brother. Good speaking to you. I'm going to take another call. Peace. I'm going to take another call. All right. 916. You're on there. 916. 916. Peace.
Peace. What's going on? What's going on? It's hot. Can you hear me?
Bro. Yes, I can.
All right. Okay, down to the basis of everything what you're talking about. You talk about linear knowledge. Okay, what is linear? Like, what is it? An action, or is it a thing? Because when I did some research on it, the only thing that lined up with linear is language.
Well, this is the thing. Linear knowledge is continuous knowledge that is beyond this circle of which you know to be education, which you can read, information in books, things that are recorded in the circle, in the limited circle of knowledge. Linear knowledge moves straight forward. It's not going to be a part of which you can go pick up and read because it is existing in the future, which means it's not written in a book. What I'm teaching in the knowledge of mental, hold on, let me finish. What I'm teaching in the knowledge of intellect is new. It's coming from beyond the sun. I'm receiving it right now, and I'm taking my people into it. How you know it's real is because it's going to resonate to you factually, logically, you understand, and in a common sense form. That's how it's always going to exist in the highest form of common sense. It's going to be beyond what you can read and things like this, because the things you go in and read and research are based in the circle, again, like I talked about in the revolution.
Let me interject real quick. Okay, so I get that fully, but the thing about it is okay, how we get to where we're at right now in the intellect, the subconscious. We had to do a path. We picked up certain things, and then we threw that away, didn't work, and we kept certain things just to get us to where we're at. What you're speaking on, okay? So those things are involved. Those things are involved in that circle. So this language, what I'm talking about, which is linear, the language is also in the circle of life because that's what makes it go around. And the circle is also a straight line if you're moving in the latitude, longitude around the earth. Now, if you want to go and move in space within yourself, it's still going to have a curvature to it. You see what I'm saying? Because
hold on. Space has no curvature, brother. Space.
No. I'm saying when you're traveling through, when you're traveling, every time when you're traveling, you have a curvature to you. The light is going to hit you, or you're traveling with the light, and the light it automatically has a bend to it. You see what I'm saying? So the linear is straight, because when it's straight and you're traveling, it's eventually going to curve. It's eventually going to come back around.
Then it's not a linear. That's not linear.
But
that's
that
circular.
can be okay. See, and this thing I want to interject and put in too, because you said about the language, what we pick up around us. Those are also things. Because what I get is you're speaking on Akashic records, how to pick up knowledge without having to go. Excuse me.
I'm not. I never read the Akashic records, brother.
Okay, well, basically that's the history of what you're talking about is getting these messages, receiving this intellect, and basically it's a whole ancient, supposedly, now, I'm just going off of studies I did and certain researches and stuff, so it's you can tap into, and it's within your intellect, within your mind, within how you guide your intent. And so you can pick up these messages. You see what I'm saying? So
I understand what you're saying, but let me explain something to you. Now, because they mentioned that there has been frequency coming through this planet, just because they mentioned it or higher knowledge coming through this circle or through this planet coming into this circle doesn't mean that knowledge that was coming in is of that time. That knowledge has no time. It's constantly coming in. When you're talking about linear, linear is continuous. There is no circle. There's the circle, and then there's the line. The line continues. There is no curvatures to it. It's like the universe. The universe is constantly expanding. There is no wraparound. There's none of that.
Okay, good point. Good, because that's true. But so now you're talking about infinite. You're talking about infinity. So
infinity is based. No,
Infinity is no time and there's no end. So you're talking about a straight line when it's moving the linear and it keep moving and going and going. That's infinite. I mean, so
would be that. No, let me stop you. That would be eternal. Infinite is what is moving in the circle, because you can move in a circle continuously, but you're moving in an infinite state.
I agree to disagree on that one.
Okay, but I'm saying, you understand as that, but what I'm telling you is infinity, based on the word infinity, means inside of finity. And whenever you put the I-N somewhere, and it's a play on word, they're not going to tell you that, but it's meaning that moving inside of a circle. You can revolve in a circle continuously.
Okay.
That would be a form of infinity, right? Because you're continuously traveling in a circle. Yes or no?
Okay. Well, with that being said, so you saying within, everything is within self. You saying this self-knowledge and this is a so-called high mind. Everything is self. Okay, so if it's moving inside, it's going to have to come back around and stay within you instead of going out, because if it goes out, it's got to come back in. You see what I'm saying? So that's that infinite knowledge that you're picking up. That's what you're receiving. So it's not basically a shape I'm talking about, because I know what you're talking about as in linear, because, like I say, that involves language and how we speak. But when we speak and get to each other and get messages across to each other, and we can pick up things, and make sense on a different realm to us, well, and that's a personal thing. But what I'm saying is it comes around to connect at the end, from the beginning of the language, speaking and conversing, to the end. It all connects.
Well, the language is only a way. To communicate at this point right now where we're at. Pretty soon we're not going to use this language anymore. So we're moving into a mental state. I said the beginning of pathmatics, which you've never heard before, I'm pretty sure. You're not going to find that in the book. The beginning of pathmatics deals with telepathy. That's the beginning. Telepathy is when you close your mouth and you're doing a lot less talking. We're only talking right now, right? We're only talking right now. We're learning to use less words, and we're learning to use our minds more. So that already is coming outside of the circle. So we're not even going to be interested in the English language anymore. That's just something we're using temporarily.
Okay, so that's a good point indeed. And I agree totally 100% with that. Okay, so what led you up to? Well, okay, I'm not going to tell you how it led you, and how you got there. But the thing about it is, before, when we were quiet and we wasn't speaking on it and we were just listening, we couldn't make sense out of it. We didn't have the words to describe it. So now that you have these words to describe it and you speaking on it and putting it in motion, so now it's becoming a language. So now go back to being silent and projecting these thoughts to each other, which we was doing from the gate. But now we realize we was doing, because, the telepathy, that's not new to me, So it's a lot of things with people, and I'm sure it happens to you, where, boom, you think it, and then, boom,
it's not new to you because they introduced it as a word into the society, but it is new because you're not able to use it. Telepathy is just the beginning of something else. Let me finish. It's the beginning of something else. So the only thing they introduce to you within this circle is the idea of telepathy. If we are not utilizing it fully to move into something else, that would be the new thing.
And now it's discovered. That's the discovery. That's the discovery. That's correct. That's what I'm speaking on. Because before, you're introduced to the word, is the telepathy. Okay, well, I ain't never experienced that. But once we become awakened and, on our path, okay, boom, now we know what it is. But we use it and it's utilized for a different thing and, different intent. But that's not what, they can't experience that, because we weren't able to do that yet. Now we're at the stage. Now I'm not getting too confusing on you. I'm just saying now that we're at that stage, it's a massive where it's trying to duplicate this thing right here, what you're talking about. But it's separatism. Now once I hear the whole in one, then I know, because what you learn, of course, you've done away with the circle, but it's involved in what you're speaking at, and that's just, of course, my perception of what I'm hearing. But
and that perception would be wrong, because I said that we're not dealing with the circle anymore. This is the linear, and in the linear, this is why we talked about the separating of our people out of the circle into the linear state, because too many of our people want to pull us back into the circle, like you're doing right now. You're not consciously doing, but you're trying to pull us back. The whole thing is to move our people blank off of the circle, out of that.
Okay.
And like I said, a lot of people who are still in it, when I'm saying stuff, they just totally jump over a lot of the stuff I'm saying, because they don't understand, and they try to glom in on what they think they understand, and they end up messing it up. They're not getting it.
Let me put it like this, and I'm not trying to bring nothing back, but it's about knowing how you got there, and not just thorns blowing the bridge up. I'm just saying, you see, but it's like when you come up to a problem on that linear path, you come up to a problem, you have to sit back and adjust yourself, pick up some new knowledge, what you're saying you're receiving and whatnot, and it's going to correlate to something that you had already learned, and it's going to strike a memory.
Then it's not new knowledge then.
Well, okay. Well, but the thing is, okay. It's really not new under the sun. It's just about someone receiving it and it's new to them. But
no, it is. And again, you do it again, because there is knowledge there. You're right. Once knowledge comes into this realm as intelligence, and mankind takes it and breaks it down and converts it into information, then he keeps rotating it into the circle. That makes it where there's nothing new under the sun. However, there is new knowledge coming from beyond the sun. That's what we're talking about. We're not interested in the old knowledge that's constantly rotating in this system. We're not interested in that.
Okay, so what you said earlier, that we're doing away with astrology, we're doing away with all that stuff and everything, but that's involving the movement of the celestials, though. And the celestials, of course, move in a circular motion. Do you not agree with that?
Well, first of all, actually, the solar system moves in a circular, and everything moving in the solar system. So we're saying knowledge is coming from beyond the sun. So we're not interested in anything that's here in the circular. So we know that already. We looking at knowledge coming from beyond it, because when you start to receive knowledge from beyond the sun, then you understand things. You have an ultra-standing of things better within that's in the circle, greater understanding of it, a greater ultra-standing of it. You have to go outside of it to understand it. It's like being inside your house. You're not going to understand totally the dynamics and the measurements, everything of your house, until you go outside and look at it. So in a way, we're doing that, and then we're going beyond that after it.
But you're going back inside the house, though.
No, I'm not going. We're not going back inside.
I mean, when you just use that example, going outside the house to see what's outside the house, but you're still going back inside the house to live.
We're not going back inside that. We're not going back inside that.
So that's what you're talking about.
By us going inside the house, that means we would have to go back inside religion, back inside astrology, all the things that have been rotating inside of this whole revolutionary mindset for thousands of years, and we're not doing that.
Yeah, that's true, but in another sense, that's not a necessity that you have to continuously do that. Once you know, that's the choice you got to make.
The choice already.
The thing about it is, you still living amongst this society, but
we don't care. Well, that's what we live in amongst you. We live in amongst y'all, but we're not trying to be a part of it. That's
right. Exactly. But when you're moving through this, though, that's what I'm saying. I totally agree with everything you're saying, but it's just I guess I'm not coming across with the clarity of what I'm trying to give you a message and stuff, but. Everything is good. It's just a couple of things to connect with. So, you good.
Oh, okay. Thank you, brother. I'm good. Thank you. All right. Good speaking to you, brother. All right.
Hey, well, it's high, though, man. It just wanted to, keep the connection going, because I called in one time before and stuff. So, I want to keep connection and stuff going. And I also have a radio show on Fridays called The Bridge, and come through and chop it up. It'll be good. Yeah, I got the information. I just wanted to put that, let you hear that, and then I'll contact you about something like that. All right?
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right. Yep, you welcome. Peace.
Okay, we at the 16 minutes in. We have any other questions, comments, calls, you can feel free to call in. We're not moving in a circle. We're not infinite. We're not moving in an infinite state. People, stop trying to understand it. If you don't get it, you're not going to get it. That's the point. We moving through time, out of time. That's the whole point. Mentally, we trying to move ourselves out in order to speed up. A lot of our people are not going to receive this. It's like I said, the brothers, like you said, if you're saying you have to pick up a book and trying to understand what I'm saying, you're going to have you're not going to be able to get it if you're going to pick a book up to understand what I'm teaching. Because I said what I'm teaching is new from beyond the sun. You're right, there's nothing new under the sun, because once it comes into the sun, it comes into the revolutionary state or into the rotation, and and the intelligence gets chopped into information, and it gets you to think in a formation and start moving in a rotation. So no, what I'm teaching is not information, and no, we're not going back. We're not talking about astrology. If I make mention of certain things and to get you to understand, it's not that I'm going back. Like I might make mention of Egypt, or I might make mention of the Bible. It's not that I'm going back into those things or what I'm trying to take my people. It's just that I'm trying to use it as a reference point, because until I give things, you understand, and I'm putting things out that you can refer to, I have to give what's here already so that you can get a better understanding of it, an ultra-standing of it, and then we can move on. We have to, we're in a stage where new things are coming in. Your brother saying nothing new under the sun. There was no TVs here 200 years ago, so that would be new under the sun. There were no automobiles here 300-400 years ago, so that would be something new under the sun. So, like, what are you talking about? There are things coming from beyond the sun, meaning beyond the mind. You understand? Beyond, meaning that's coming in through higher intelligence into this atmosphere. So there are things that are coming in from beyond the sun, and certain people are receiving it. This is the problem with our people. Our people don't want to sit and go blank. They want to come with their own preconceived notions. That's why we're talking about separating ourselves out of the black race, because the black race doesn't want to come blank. They want to come and they want to bring preconceived notions, and they want to try to explain. Then when you try to explain to them, instead of them saying, I don't understand, brother, can you teach? I want to be a part of what you're doing. They're not going to get that, because it's still that mindset of, I could just read in the book what he talking about. He don't know what he talking about. When will our people learn? This is why we got to do the separation. Now you see why. See, because people like that will slow us down. I'm not talking about the brother, no disrespect to you, brother, I was just speaking to. I'm talking about people who have this preconceived notion. And if you have the preconceived notion, I'm talking about you too, brother. I'm sorry to say it like that. We're talking about new knowledge coming from beyond the sun. We're not interested in any knowledge under the sun. We heard that all before. That's not going to help you in this future world to come. You understand? It's not going to help our people. Moving in rotation, the jobs, the things you're doing with your kids, the old ways is not going to help. He said I'm good. He thought he was schooling me, but that's the ego. That's the ego. He thought he was schooling me. He had to do that. He had to son me. But hey, I'll take it. All right, that's fine. Like I said, who am I? I'm just a teacher. I'm just a teller. Who am I? I'm just a guy receiving this higher knowledge and advanced intelligence. And like I said, in order for you to really teach me something, because I feel like this, if you're going to teach me something, you got to teach me something that's not in the book. You understand? You got to teach me something that's beyond a book. If you can't teach me nothing that's beyond the book, then what the hell I need you for? I can just go read the book. I'm teaching you things that are not in the book that's resonating to my people, that's making sense, that you can't find in the book. So that would make me the teller. That would make me the real teacher. You understand? I'm teaching you things that's not in the white man's books, or in the black man's books, or in the East Indian books. I'm teaching you things that are solar intelligence, from the God race, the Amen beings, the future beings. You understand? The advanced beings who resonate as future beings coming into this existence. That's what I'm teaching my people. Don't try to make it fit your circular knowledge. Don't try to make it fit your book knowledge. Don't try to make it fit your knowledge from the white man that you read in his books. It's not going to fit. You understand? It's not going to fit. And we're not trying to make it fit. We're not trying to slow it down for people so that you can understand it. Either you get it at this level or not, because once you do that, then you know what you do? It's like the 5% of guys said, yeah, well, you know, he said something very, you know, very, very smart, the 5% of guys. I go back to him. He said, yeah, brother, well, if you taught this way, you'd have more people. And I, no, I don't want to teach that way to have more people, because that's what you guys do in religion and all the circular knowledge. You teach a certain goddamn way so you can have people come and listen to you and whatnot, and you can make it palatable. We're not trying to make mental palatable. It's raw and uncut, man. We're not trying to make it palatable. The truth is only built for real people, man. The truth is only built for the bright race, the solar intelligent beings. That's what it was made for. I'm not trying to. I could come here and try to twist it down into Egyptology. I'm not trying to come down here and twist it into Egyptology for nobody, man. Take another call. Let me see. 804. 804.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Name JoJo calling from Richmond, Virginia, right?
All right.
And I think I get what you're saying, right? I think I get it. I think I get it, right? I saw something one time in my life. It was 2005. I went to the window, and it was some stuff float down out of the sky. It was like spider web material, and like 2 to 3 inches in length. It had a murky look. It didn't have that shiny spider web look, and it scared the pieces out of me. And I jumped off the window in the center of the floor, wondering what the hell this stuff was, and for about like 30 seconds. And I went back to the window, and I just looked at it, and the people was walking through the stuff and stuff. It was coming down like snow, but it was like spring, you know. And I can't make nothing out of it. And
please don't ask me to, brother. Please don't ask me to.
Yeah.
Please don't ask me to. That was your vision. I don't know. I'm not even gonna sit up here and try to explain that. I don't know. No. So
and
is that what you was gonna ask me to do? Explain it to you?
No, I would wonder have anybody said anything to you about it.
No, I didn't get that, brother. I don't them type of things. That's for you. Like I said, I'm just receiving this intelligence right now, and I'm teaching my people. That's it. I'm not trying to interpret nobody's dreams. I'm not trying to break down nobody's visions and whatnot. If I hear it and I get it and whatnot, and it seems familiar to me, I'll do that. But that was your vision. You know, whatever you interpret it to be, how that's going to resonate. See, because our people, they'll get visions and things, and it's what you do after you get the vision. If it's just something you've seen and then ain't nothing happening, your life don't change, and that don't mean nothing. Who cares? If it ain't going to do nothing to change your life, if you're still doing the same things in a rotation and a routine, then who cares? What good was it to talk about it? It's just something you saw.
Yeah, it just happened one time, and I've been looking for it again, you know. And,
for what?
I just ain't never see it again, you know.
For what? Why are you looking for it? Why?
Maybe something big will come out of it, you know. Maybe I could get an understanding of what it means, what it meant,
Okay. All right, well, brother, that's beautiful. I hope you catch it again, and I hope it resonates as something greater to you, okay?
So you come on Wednesday?
I come on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'll be on Friday night at 9, okay?
Okay. All right. I'm going through the archives. And I like what you kicking because I'm not with the book thing. I'm looking for something new, something new and different.
All right, then come on along, brother. You could join me up on Facebook. I don't know if you my friend on Facebook. I'm the intellectual Nuben Menkares. Are you my friend on Facebook?
I'm not really into the Facebook and all that, but I'll catch you on the blog talk and everything.
Okay, catch me on the blog talk. We getting low on time, brother. So, all right.
What city you in?
I'm in New York City.
Okay. I was just up there last weekend.
All right. Well, if you coming on up next Sunday, we're going to be doing the Supermen, Superwoman project. If you're coming back up sometime next week, or stay in touch through the broadcast, and because we do our project every month. Okay.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace, brother.
Right.
916. Okay. I can probably talk to you already. 469.
Greetings, brother.
Peace.
I'm in receiving as well. This is beautiful. I have a question, and it's in reference to you talking about under the sun.
Are you calling? Where are you calling from? L.A.
No, I'm Texas.
Texas. What's your name?
Adele.
Adele. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you my
Yes.
Facebook friend?
Yes.
Okay, Adele. All right.
Yes.
Okay. What's your question?
My question, I don't think it is a question, and I don't know what it is, but you're talking about the under the sun, and as you were talking about it, I reflected on new growth. You know how your hair, you know how you have hair that's new growth?
Okay.
And I realized that it's really not new growth. Isn't it just an extension of the old?
Mm-mm.
Or,
Well, yeah,
can you help me with that?
Okay, you talking about the knowledge coming from beyond the sun, or are we talking about here?
Well, just though, you know, when you're talking about there's nothing, you know how people say there's nothing new under the sun.
Well, no, I said, well, all knowledge that comes into this planet comes from beyond the sun, and then as it goes into a rotation, it becomes old knowledge because they chop it into information. But there's always new knowledge. There's always new knowledge coming from beyond the sun. Then man takes it and chops it into information by putting it into books and putting his limited perception on it. That's what makes it information, and that's when it becomes old over time.
Okay. Received. I received. I'll just stay back and listen.
Okay. All right, Adele. I'll see it. I'll see if your name is it just Adele. What?
It's Carrie Adele.
Carrie like CARRY.
T as in Tom.
Perry Adele. Perry Adele.
Yes. Mhm.
PERRY.
I.
P as in pie. Okay. PERRY.
You'll see me. I'm your friend.
Okay. Perry Adele.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Good speaking to you, Perry Adele. All right. All right. We've come to the end of our broadcast. If we don't have any more questions, July 22nd, Supermen, Superwomen Project. For those of you in the New York City, New Jersey, New York City, Connecticut, where if you want to come down, I'm going to be speaking at the Supermen, Superwomen Project. Hell, I'm going to be teaching the whole project. We do it monthly, but come on down. Ask me any question you want. We're talking about the advancement of the bright race, the mentalists, the mentallectuals, the bright race. Go to the SOM.info. If you have any, if you want to see what we're about, who we are, the mentalists, the state of mental, the real 144,000, the rising out of the black race, the bright race. And like I said, our people, it's not no light skin. Then we talk about the solar intelligent beings, the dark skin, light skin, all our people who carry solar intelligence. That's who I'm teaching this knowledge for. I'm not interested in teaching people information. We're teaching people intelligence. This is a future intelligence community and we're teaching the knowledge of intellect. Okay? Join us again on Friday. Join us on Friday. I don't know what the topic will be yet, but it'll always be something good. It'll always be something hot, something that you can get intel from, that you can get knowledge from. So, I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares. This has been State of Mental Radio. Join us Friday, 9 p.m., July 22nd, Supermen, Superwomen Project, Sunday, July 22nd. Good night. Star Unbreakable.